Congratulations, gentlemen, and I guess welcome to the impromptu Lawrence Brothers press conference. So I'm sure everybody out there watching will be excited to hear. We'll start with you, Jet. You have to be excited because I'm sure you're on the ballot for Rookie of the Year in the 450 class. You must be, at least in consideration there. He's like, the one award you probably haven't been handed yet, or maybe you were. So, perfect season, rarefied air, joined Ricky Carmichael, James Stewart, and now yourself have won all motos that you competed in. 22 straight moto wins. So tell us about it. And you seemed more inspiration today than I've seen you. This was a big deal for you, it seemed like, today.
Yeah, no, I mean, gosh, I hope I won the Rookie of the Season because, dude, if I lost that would suck.
That was tongue-in-cheek, smart aleck. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was so pumped. I mean, from where I came from and just and the biggest thing I kept on saying, and I know my manager Lucas says it, my dad says it, is we shouldn't be here because the way we were living in Australia and how like we were struggling there enough, and the pathway for us to be where we are and undefeated in a rookie season 450 championship, there was no pathway for that for us, and there was, let alone like winning a 250 championship, there was no pathway for us. So, I mean, to do what we've done and make history and be up there with Ricky Carmichael, James Stewart, to be with those guys, it means the world because they're such a household name in our sport. You can tell if you bring up motocross, it's up there with, you can think of James Stewart, Ricky Carmichael, Jerry McGrath, all those guys. I mean, you just know that like they're household names. So to be up with those guys is an unreal accomplishment. I was nervous as hell, but I mean, I was thankful I was able to do it.
From my perspective, and I'm sure some other people, maybe Jason will make a mention, today it seemed like there were a couple of times I actually felt like you put almost 100% effort in a lap. Chase was pushing very, very hard, and you mentioned going off the track, landing on the Godzilla jump, and had a couple of, how close were you to going 100%?
I was not full 100%, but we were going like at least 95%, I would say. We were trying to push the envelope and just trying to push Chase to his limits and trying to break him. I mean, that's the only way to try and beat Chase, and it's already hard enough to do that. It's almost impossible. This man does not stop at all. So I mean, I was pushing hard, he was pushing hard, and it was an awesome racing against him this year. Where I was glad he came back because he's made me a better rider. I know for sure. I feel like I've helped with him, and I think the speed we're at that limit of speed where it's that light speed almost kind of thing. So I mean, it's been awesome racing him. That last moto, I just had every single bit of motivation. I was pushing the entire time. I did not care how I was almost numb to what I was feeling. I was just so focused on executing every single thing and every single turn, making sure I keep on pushing, breathing, that at the end, I barely felt my body, how I was feeling, how tired I was. It didn't hit till after I was like, okay, yeah, I'm tired. But I mean, the adrenaline that I had was through the roof.
And speaking of elevating each other's game, Hunter, congratulations on a remarkable season also. Had some ups and downs. Had to come through that Redbud first turn crash, battle an injury, ribs early on in the season, then had a mechanical, and at that point you lost the championship lead and came back, and almost with vengeance, and came back. So tell us, the first moto, you knew it was in your hands. If you won that first moto, at that point you mathematically eliminated everybody. You had the championship. And then the second corner, you see it, a crash happens, and you mentioned earlier that you saw the bike was number 32. That was having trouble. So what did your game plan at that point become, knowing your nearest competitor was behind you and on the ground?
Yeah, when I went around the first turn, I was like, all right, this one's going to be a tough one, and then came to a stop with that pile up, and then I seen, unfortunately Justin was on the ground. I'm like, okay, well maybe it just got a little easier because that was the only guy I really had to focus on beating. So to wrap it up in the first moto, so yeah, it was honestly just kind of right into that. In all reality, just kind of taking passes that came, not really pushing above my head. I kind of knew where he was all moto, and my mechanic was doing a good job of letting me know. So I just kind of Did that and brought it home. Don't do anything stupid. It was ours to lose essentially. So just brought it home.
Being a highly competitive and a racer like you are, I mean, how hard was it to govern yourself back and say, listen, I don't need to push. I don't need to try to pass the guy ahead of me. As long as Justin's behind me, I've got this thing. So you were getting pit boards telling your status and everything, and you just kind of had to finish it. But how hard was it for you to do that?
Not hard. I mean, it's harder to keep pushing harder and make up that time. So it was a lot easier on my side. But still, I mean, why risk it to win a battle when you can win the war, So that's what we were doing today, and we were here to win the war.
Very good. Dan Beaver?
Dan Beaver, NBC Sports. You guys are dressing alike a lot here lately. Hunter, you were wearing Jets gear after his clinch. Now this. Is there any way for a championship to be more special given that you guys are both getting it? And now twice, Supercross and here. And this is for both.
Maybe if we both get the SMX title as well, that might be the only thing that makes it more special. But no, absolutely. Like both of us, it's wild. Both Supercross titles. Never, it has been done before, but in the same year, I don't think it had. Now outdoor pro motocross championships, epic.
Yeah, I mean, at Unadilla, that was my day, wrapping up my championship, and today was always, it was from the start, it was about Hunter wrapping up his championship after all he's been through, so it's the reason why I wear his shirt, and it's a show for me to show respect to him, and I feel like it's just the right thing to do, even if I was going undefeated or not. I mean, it's his day, and that's what I'm here for.
And is the family bond pushing each other to this level of excellence? Is that foundational for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, nowadays it's muscle memory. We wake up, and when we go practicing, we're pushing ourselves to each other every day. We are trying to be the best we can and be the best athletes in the sport.
Yeah, absolutely. Whether it's in this sport or in life in general, you're always going to have someone that pushes you to become better. I think what's unique about this side is we both push each other to be better, and whenever either of us win, it's benefiting the same family rather than another family or someone else. So I think that's what makes it special. Where we're brothers and family first, racing always comes second.
Thank you.
And then Victoria Beaver, Auto Racing Digest. Beaver. So I do follow my father around in the same way, which has been lovely. Family. It's all about it. But for you, Jet, going into SMX and then on the 450 being in a closer to super motocross vibe, how are you preparing over the next week and a half?
Like everything I go into, I'm going to train my butt off and going to try and recover from this, and then just go straight into training, work my butt off, and just try and get the best prep I can in the 2 weeks before SMX, and then try and go in with open eyes and see what we get dealt with, how the track is, and then just adjust.
And then for you, Hunter, what are you most looking forward to in the SMX playoffs?
I think more than anything else, the unknown. No one really knows what to expect, so it's kind of the first round. I'm sure everyone will be there with their notepads out, and then back to the drawing board after the first one. So yeah, hopefully we can get it right with the team, and we land on our feet running.
Yeah, Jason from the TV show. Jet, you said this is like an impossible dream to have come this far, but now looking back, this crazy background you guys have, and I'll ask you this one also, Hunter, does that actually help in the end? All the struggles you went through, all the experience you got around the world, did that actually work out for the best as a rider now?
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I think whoever goes through those tough times and makes it out, they learn something. I mean, there's only very few people that can get themselves out of that hole, and those people are the ones who kind of succeed the most. You look at some of the most richest guys in the world. They started from the bottom and went through a tough time, and I mean, other people went through the same stuff, but you see they just kind of, I feel like they almost get beat down a bit more, or even sometimes they just don't get that bit of lady luck with just being in the right place and the right time. So I mean, we just kept our head down. I mean, when we went to Europe, it was win win at all costs because we didn't have that much money. We went over there with 8,000 euros to our name, to all of us, and we had to make that last till the house was sold. So, I mean, we went over there and we're like, we're here to succeed at any cost. We don't care how it gets done. We're gonna do it, and we're making sure we're doing it. And yeah, to end up where we are now, where we're living happy in a nice big house. We have our sports cars, which is such a... Other people might not look at it as a big deal, but for us to go bankrupt and then be driving matching Ferraris around, I got a twin turbo R8, to be driving that stuff around, it doesn't seem real.
And even from a riding and training perspective, just talk about all this experience you get that most of the riders you're up against here probably don't have.
Yeah, no, I think that grit of getting out of that hole, it overlays into your riding. I mean, the pressure back then to try and succeed was way more than being where we are nowadays trying to win championships. It's not even half the pressure of what we got back there, because it was if we lost a moto now, it's like, oh, bummer, but we have another chance next weekend, where back then we didn't have that second chance. It was the plan A, and we got to execute plan A. So I mean, it goes into our riding so much of just trying to make sure we give it everything that we got, and make sure we execute everything that we've learned and put it onto the track.
Yeah, same thing for you, Hunter. And in America, it's a pretty defined path that all the kids have. Your background's different. Do you think it's actually worked out for the best for you?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I think what really was instilled in us, and why I think we are where we are, is because we started off with nothing to fall back on. So it was do or die. You know, there was nothing. When we were in the tough times, it was not like, oh, okay, you know, you get denied a few times or pushed down, and you're like, okay, we'll just, you know, go back to normal life. Like, there was no normal life for us. It was, you know, nothing, you know. So it was just always make it or break it, you know. And I think that can-do attitude definitely helped, you know, having an unreal role model in our dad, just in being a everyday battler and a fighter, and just showing us the right things, you know, and just the right attributes without even realizing it. You kind of adopt them. So that I think it's definitely paid off a ton, to where we're so fortunate and grateful for everything we have right now, and the people we get to work with, and what we get to do for a day job. You know, we race dirt bikes for a job. I mean, it's pretty damn badass. As a kid, you don't even know that, like, you're going to have to work one day, and how the world works and this and that. And yeah, you know, it's a very big consumption of our life, but I mean, we're living the dream.
And I know you're a guy that dedicates yourself to the craft. Can you give us like one story or one example of putting in the extra time to do whoops or a corner, or I got to get this right? I know a lot of it's going to come from Johnny O and your dad and things like that, but are there times when you critique yourself and I'm like, I can't leave the track today until I get this right?
Yeah, it was Wednesday this week.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we're still, I mean, yeah, we're always working to be better. Any driven person in life, you know, you aim to be 1% better every day, whether it's, I don't know, dieting or whatever it may be, you know, like every day we try to be better, whether it's in our sport, in life itself, just anything. You know, you never met someone that says, yeah, I don't learn, you know, I'm still not learning. You know, everyone that you meet that's older and experienced, they say, yeah, I'm still learning to this day, and as are we.
Cool. Excellent. Thanks, guys.
Jason, you might be able to confer on this, but I believe it's been 45 years since a manufacturer's won all the championships in the same year. Is that right? Since 1978. So things are good at the Honda camp. You guys, I see some of your staff here, team manager Lars Lindstrom and all the crew here. So right now, I mean, your situation at Honda, and tell us about when you're feeling over there. Is it just a family affair over there at this point for you, or, I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
Got to be great.
Go burn the truck down later. It's just unreal. The boys are going to get the cigars out. It's going to be the HRC drinking team here shortly.
little sip of bourbon, or how's it going to be there? I could see some of that happening over there. Huh?
I hope they just go blind.
Well, I'm gonna go over there and watch that because I'm gonna toast one with Johnny O'Mara because there's one that I would like to have a drink with. Celebrate.
If you can get Osho to drink,
I know.
Hey, geez, if you don't drink today, I mean, don't drink, kids. We're not promoting it and stuff, but
Exactly.
yeah, Osho, he's a stickler. So
I know.
little Corona Johnny's a cool Johnny.
I know. your dad will convince him. So go ahead, Jet.
Yeah, no, basically what he said. We're going back, burn the truck down. Johnny, he's going to get hammered. It might not happen, but we're going to sip some in his drink. Don't do that. But, I mean, we might not be drinking. I know, well, we won't be drinking. I'll be going blind off of Sprites and Red Bulls. Maybe even ice cream if we chuck that in there. So, but no, we can't celebrate too much. We got to get back to work for SMX. I know the team, Hunter and I, we have no clue what that's going to be like. So we're going to try and get blind enough to where we still see something for super motocross.
Well, I know Aussies know how to celebrate. That's for darn sure. So, talk about briefly Super Motocross because we'll get in trouble if Jason probably don't promote the Super Motocross Playoff Series. But it's some serious cash available for you guys, both of you guys. I mean, you got
We love cash.
$500,000
Cash money.
for the 250 and $1 million for the 450. I mean, it's something to focus on, I'm sure. So, are you getting excited about it? Are you going to start testing? I mean, have you been studying the track maps at all, or even talking about them with Honda?
Well, you know what that money goes into? More cars.
More cars. Okay.
So yeah, no, I mean, it's so hard to study because I feel like we haven't really got a full, it's basically going to be like basically like Monster Kart, where it's still Supercross, just with a few long straights and no whoops, or if it's going to be more stadium crossy, where it's a little bit more fast with basically tabletops in a speedway. So, I mean, that's the exciting thing about it. It's so new to us and new to everyone that we have zero clue what we're going in there. I mean, like I said, we want to go in with seeing some, but we're basically going in blind with this. So, I mean, we're going to go there, and like Hunter said, we're going to have our notebooks out, and after the first round, we're going to see what we need to learn, and then after that first round, go back, make some changes, see if we can make it better.
All right, Hunter, your approach to the new SMX. What's your feeling too?
I don't know. Not yet. I'll let you know on Monday.
Okay. Well, I'm going to be watching social media to see how that celebration and how big the flames are when you burn the truck down. Okay, guys. Congratulations. Incredible season and phenomenal.